Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a transfer move to Arsenal. I've nailed that intro. Welcome to the show. As you can see, Robbie's away. He's away on holiday, so I'm in on loan with an option to buy, is what he's called my current contract. So we've had a little transfer of our own. But he's very sorry he couldn't be here. But this is my AFTV Transfer Daily debut. And it's a good day, actually, for it, because there's lots of news. There's lots to get into. I'm very excited to see what you guys say in the comments about everything that I've woken up to today, all the news, and it surrounds one player in particular. But we'll discuss that in a sec. Before we go into all that, first of all, let's actually wish Robbie a nice holiday. He deserves it. He's away with his family and works very hard, and he gets to have a little bit of a break. But he did want to bring you this show, but Wi-Fi, all that is causing him problems, so not his fault. The other thing I do want to mention is congratulations to Folarin Balogun, who's got his third goal in 3 games since going on loan to Reims. And actually, you know what? There's a pattern developing here. We've seen William Saliba, thriving at Arsenal after a couple of loan spells in France. Nuno Tavares has gone there, and I was going to say he looks a transformed player. I think that's actually a little harsh because he's shown his quality at Arsenal. It's just the inconsistency. It's just his highs are very high, his lows are very low. But he's having a brilliant start in Marseille as well. So it looks like the loan system and loaning out to the French league is working very well for Arsenal. So congrats to Balogun. And listen, we want him scoring goals. We want to be developing these young strikers. Strikers go for a lot of money, and bringing them in and adding the depth can be very difficult, and especially when it's one of our own, a hairlender. It is brilliant to see Balogun doing very, very well. Right, let's go into the news. The main news today revolves around Pedro Neto. Do you know what? Absolute true story, okay? So I was with my family on the weekend after the Arsenal game, beating Bournemouth. They're very good on the weekend. And it's in a great start of week. Yeah, we've got Man United Liverpool tonight to just enjoy, knowing Arsenal did their job. Same with the Chelsea game yesterday. And my dad asked me about Pedro Neto. He honestly, out of nowhere, he said, so what's the latest with that Pedro Neto guy? I said, well, nothing. There's been no news. And suddenly today, everything comes, and it's come from the man himself, David Ornstein. Now, let me just read to you what he said. He tweeted in an update around a load of transfers. He said, Arsenal's transfer priority is Pedro Neto. Discussions over a month, he says, with Arsenal to Jorge Mendes, that's his agent, and then Mendes to Wolves. So Arsenal and Wolves don't seem to be in direct contact. Everything is going through Jorge Mendes, a super agent. We'll touch on him a little bit more in a sec. The rest of it says that Wolves don't plan to sell the 22-year-old winger yet, and Arsenal can't spend excessively, so deal not easy, but interest concrete and unanimous. Interesting what he means about unanimous. I imagine he means that maybe everyone in the club is unanimously on board with this potential signing. Maybe he's saying that, Pedro Neto likewise is interested in a move. We saw that clip go around where he mentioned sort of his affection for Arsenal. So, yeah, this is one that could happen, but it's that big question around the fee, the price. Now, I've seen it thrown around that it could be around 50 million that it's going to take. By the way, lower than what I actually thought. I probably shouldn't be saying that because I don't want to give them any reason to bump up the price. But, 50 million is around what I would expect, if not maybe a bit more, Pedro Neto to be quoted, especially because he only signed a new deal back in March, I believe. So there's no pressure on the contractual side of things. We know that is a situation with Yuri Tielemans. We're going to touch on Tielemans in a little bit. Arsenal don't really have... They can't really play on that in negotiations. This is very much that they want one of Wolves' best players, and it's about what's he going to cost. We see how much Chelsea are trying to negotiate to get Fofana out of Leicester. It's something that I was fearing might go in that sort of direction. But let me just give you a different spin on this, which I think is quite interesting. As I mentioned, he's represented by Jorge Mendes. I want to read you a list I've got here of Jorge Mendes' clients. So as we've mentioned, Pedro Neto being one of them. Ruben Neves, also at Wolves. Nelson Semedo, so he would have got that move from Barcelona to Wolves, made that happen. Adama Traore, Ait Nouri as well as another. Daniel Podence, Jose Sarr, who brought into the club last summer, and João Moutinho as well. But there's 2 more I want to mention. Gonzalo Guedes and Mateus Nunes. 2 players that Wolves have signed this summer. And when have they done that? Quite literally in the last couple of weeks as well. And as we've just mentioned, Arsenal's negotiations with Wolves, with Jorge Mendes and Mendes to Wolves has been going on for a month or so, over a month, as David Ornstein said. So this is a very interesting one. Now, why is that important? Ultimately, it doesn't matter that maybe the deals have nothing to do with each other. I think I wish I could take credit for it, and I wish I could actually credit who said this, because I saw it being sort of said in discussion on Twitter. there might be a little something here where Wolves have spent a little bit of money. I mean, I'm just looking here. Nunes came in for 40 million, Geddes for 30 million, Nathan Collins for 20 million. So they spent, about 100 million. They got He Chan Huang as well for 15 million. Looks like that got confirmed this summer. So they spent quite a bit of money. Now, there's going to be perhaps a need to go and recuperate some funds potentially. But I think with some of the deals that, this is just a hunch, and again, it's sparked by what others have said online as well, so it's not all my own original idea. But maybe just with some of the deals that Mendes has got done in terms of incomings for Wolverhampton Wanderers, there might be a little bit of a, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. If my client wants this move, we can get an acceptable fee. I've got you in 2 top players, 2 really high-profile clients who, would have been linked as well with the traditional big 6, I know some people don't like saying that. I wonder whether maybe there's an element of, let's do a deal that suits all parties. I don't know. That is purely opinion. That is purely a hunch. We will see. But keep an eye on this one because, I don't know, it seems to, it's only been sort of, this one Ornstein update and then 1 or 2 here or there. But yeah, keep an eye on this one for sure. If we don't get Pedro Neto, then who are the backups? Well, again, Robbie touched on it yesterday in Transfer Daily, and it is Shakhtar Donetsk's Ukrainian winger, Mikhailo Mudryk. Hope I pronounced all right. Mikhailo, yeah. Described as the Ukrainian Neymar. Of course, would be a lot cheaper than Pedro Neto. Of course, it wouldn't be coming with that same reputation. But I've got to say, and I'm purely judging it on the YouTube comps and videos and all that, as KG would be saying, the comps be comping, and I've got to say he looks really good. He looks a really exciting winger, but we don't know a lot about him. Is it something that Arsenal might do if they can't, get a player like Pedro Neto over the line, if they're worried about things like how much they spent this summer, FFP, whatever that might be? I don't know. We'll find out more about that, I'm sure, in the coming months. Arsenal spent a lot of money. They won't have endless sums, so maybe Mudryk is someone they might look at. Now, another player is Yuri Tielemans. How many times have you heard him mentioned on this show? Every time I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm listening to the show, I keep thinking, poor guy, Robbie. Every time he's got to sort of talk about Tielemans because for whatever reason, this just won't go away. Despite Xhaka playing really well, Lokonga's clearly not going anywhere on loan. Now, Nenny signed a new deal, but we're still in for Yuri Tielemans. Now, the updates, again, a little bit coming up here and there from other journos or whatever, is that, sources out in Belgium as well were saying that Arsenal will come in potentially for a second bid. But let me just give you something, and Robbie sent this through. So apparently Arsenal will make another bid before the window shuts. And a friend of Robbie's actually met Yuri Tielemans yesterday and asked him if he's by chance, I believe. I don't think they're on those terms. But bumped into him by chance and asked him if he's joining Arsenal. And apparently his reply was, "Let's wait and see." So that is very much third-hand info that's coming from Robbie to someone to Robbie to me. So don't come shooting the messenger if it doesn't happen. But there's something in this. There's absolutely something in this Yuri Tielemans stuff. And I keep sort of rejecting it, thinking, no, we've got Zinchenko, we want to bring in a wide player. Surely we won't do Tielemans as well, but it won't go away. And for some reason, something just tells me I can't keep ignoring the smoke around all this. The last one as well, again, Robbie's done his research. He wouldn't let me come here empty-handed. He also has let me know that, according to Sky Sports reporter Florian Plettenberg, it's said that that Leroy Sané is not completely unsaleable by Bayern Munich. And if an offer of 60 million to 70 million euros were to come in, then the German giants would potentially listen to that. Now, I think he's a world-class footballer. Certainly on his day he can be. Has he been what Bayern were hoping they'd be getting? I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him, but clearly there's a reason why they don't see him as completely unsellable. But that's a big deal to do. And for everything Arsenal have done really well in this transfer window, is that maybe just that one too far, where actually if we'd got Champions League football then maybe, but is that just a bridge too far? But maybe the early performances and how Jesus and Zinchenko have settled in, maybe that would be something that would swing things around in our direction. Alright guys, we'll leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this little loan move. You might see me a bit more for the rest of this week, and then Robbie will decide whether he wants to exercise that option to buy and he can trade in those 6 a.m. shifts. Well, actually that means I've got to do them, so so I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have to negotiate with Turkish. Anyway, it's been fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, let me know in the comment section what you make of all these rumours and what you make of this Pedro Neto stuff. Can we really pull this off? Will it take a structured deal? Will it take something like 15 up front and then scattered payments throughout? We've seen Arsenal do that kind of thing before. And I've got to say, when you've got a player who, yes, he's had a big injury, you know, only in the last year or so, but he's shown he can really be a real player in the Premier League. Surely we want to get this kind of deal done. Let's see if we can. All right, smash the like button if you have enjoyed this video. Get in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time on AFTV Transfer Daily.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.